Hello everybody. Second video here. So last video we talked about the school and the work mindset that people have, older people, boomers have, and the economy. And it's not looking good, right? They sound like some redundant, repetitive dumbasses and giving us dumbass information. They just want us basically to beat a dead horse until it shits out a golden egg. I guess that's what they think is going to happen, but that's not going to happen. This video I'm touching on and I'm focusing on the housing market. I formulated uh, a little document from some of statistics that I've stolen, basically from Moon, that channel I told you about. Well, I didn't steal them; they're not his. He's repeating them from somewhere else. I'm repeating them from him, and some other statistics that I did not gather myself, and I put them all together with the help of artificial intelligence into a little thing that I can read right here. Not a script, but a legitimate cost of living analysis document that is right here that I'm going to read. Okay, so starting off, housing market and cost of living analysis, and I use the dates from 2000 to 2026. Right, some people when they make, especially when they start trying to make points about society and prices and shit, they like to look further back into the past, like into the 19s, right? The late 19s, which is valid to do because that really shows the disparity in between then and now and how things have changed. But I can accomplish the same thing just going back to the 2000s, and I'm using the 2000s to represent what's going on more so specifically to my generation because this is the era, this is the time era I grew up in. Right, I was born in 2001. Okay, so here we go. Housing market increase in 2000 since 2000. Since the year of 2000, the United States housing market has experienced dramatic growth that far outpaces income growth. The median home price in 2000s was $169,000 with a median household income of $41,990, right? By 2025, the median household price, the median home price reached approximately 41,000 416,000, sorry, 900. That's the whole thing. The higher end of that is 426,800. While the median household income grew to 83,150, higher end 83,730. Okay? So what I just showed you was the growth in how homes basically have become more expensive and the median household income, which is how much most people generate over a year to afford, like in comparison to afford a home. Uh, and I'm using examples of people who are successful. Okay, so right here, this 83,730, that's the higher end. That whole spectrum there, that's including people who are making some money. I'm using them as an example because every time young people try to make it a conversation about, excuse me, what's going on in the world and how they feel about things, there's always some old fucking ignorant person or loser who's like, well, that's just because you didn't try enough, or you're a loser and you're a quitter, and that's why you're going through this. The successful young people are having this. No, nigga. Right here it says, I'm showing you the math. The people who are successful can't keep up. That's what that just told you. I'm going to go to the next part. The national home price to income ratio has nearly doubled from the recommended maximum of 2.6 to 5.08 as of 2026. Financial experts generally recommend a ratio of 2.6 or below for housing to be considered affordable. Yet none of the 50 most popular US metros meets this threshold today. So of all the 50 most popular places that deal with housing and measuring housing ratios and income inequalities that are responsible for allowing people to know what they can purchase and their purchasing power and the people who sell homes as well, the people who are owning these that you get your house from, so you pay, people you pay the mortgage to, right? These people, none of them are trying to hold this threshold. The threshold is 2.6 as a maximum ratio. As long as it stays in 2.6, it's considered affordable. And the housing prices should only go up so much. They will be in a place of affordability for most people who work to go get it. They have let that fucking ratio increase all the way up to 5.08. That's 3 over already. 2.6. That's three ratios over already. 0.8. Okay? That's a big jump. As far as ratios go, that's big as fuck. That's way, and if 2.6 is affordable, then that's, what the fuck is that? That's way outside of affordable anything. Cause we three points over. What's next? In 1985, the ratio was 3.6 and reached 4.0 by the 2000s, so a year before I was born. For the first time before climbing to 5.8 by 2022. So not even 2026 yet, the ratio has gone up to 5.8, not 5.08, 5.8. So 0.8, that percentage is a little less than 1. So that before, back in what's it, the previous ratio I showed you was basically almost 5.1. This is a 5.8, shitting on that ratio, leaving that ratio in the past. It slightly went down in 2004 to just 5.0. Still way over 2.6. The ratio is still way too high. Looking at the long-term picture, home prices have risen 551%. This is the statistic that I slid in here because I recorded it from Moon's video and put it in here. Or I had it in my notes and I gave it to the AI to put into this document. I told it to fact check all this shit. Okay, so this is a lot of this is not no statistics that I put in here. It's just straight from the internet. 551% prices have risen since 1980 compared to just 373% for incomes. So the prices have risen, but the incomes have only risen 373%. So that's a 200% minimum disparity. But that's a gap. That's a big ass gap between how much houses cost and how much people can make. There's a 200% difference. So you work and you do all your fucking work and you have a job and all that shit, you still gonna be fighting a 200% gap between what you are making probably on a yearly basis, on an annual basis, and what the median household price is for you could buy a home. 200%. I don't know what fucking, I mean, you better hit the lottery. Like, I don't, like, you know what I'm saying? This growing disconnect between the households earn and what home costs represents a fundamental shift in housing affordability that affects buyers across all income levels. You hear that? All income levels. Which is, like I said earlier, I was using the people who are on the better end of the income generation in our society, so the people who have more money, right? So if society was healthy, they would be chilling. They have like a little fucking island in their kitchen, and they having fucking toaster strudels and pancakes and eggs and bacon for dinner, and they got 2 kids and orange juice and 2 cars and a garage and a little backyard and a little front yard, right? These are cool people. They cooling. They getting their asses whooped right now. So what the fuck do you think is happening to somebody who's renting an apartment? All right. So mortgage affordability challenges is the next section. While the 30-year fixed mortgage rate in 2023 was roughly equivalent to the mortgage rate in 1973, wages simply haven't kept pace with the housing prices, making it extremely difficult for the first-time homebuyers, me, our generation, new adults, to enter the market. The mortgage rate has actually decreased a little to 12.4% in 1985, from 1985 to 6.8% in 2025, but it's negligible. This reduction in borrowing costs hasn't been sufficient to offset the dramatic increase in home prices. Like I said, is negligible. It doesn't fucking matter. They trying to make it look good, I guess, maybe for the optics, or so they can say some shit on the news like, "Ooh, it's affordable." No, the fuck it's not. It don't fucking matter. You're not offsetting that 200% that I was talking about earlier. You're not offsetting that. If home prices had grown only as fast as incomes since 2000, so if our income has grown as fast as the home prices have grown, the median U.S. home would cost $336,994. Today, $83,306 less than the actual median price of approximately $420,300. This calculation highlights the significant affordability gap that has developed over the past 2 decades. So this is not brand new. This shit has been building over 2 decades. So like we were saying in the previous video, if it's anybody's fault of how the state of shit is right now, it's whoever's been alive in the last 2 fucking decades. So all the boomers who's trying to look at their kids and with disappointment like they did something wrong, or like it's their fault that they can't beat this 200% gap. Nigga, I just got here. This shit has been in the making for 20 years. Fuck out my face. Next, the cost of living outpaces wage growth. The cost of living has dramatically outpaced wage growth, particularly for essential expenses. That means bare minimum shit: food, electric, water. While on paper today's dollar goes further in terms of overall purchasing power, the cost of essentials like housing and education have skyrocketed, eroding these gains. That points out something else I spoke about of how they raised the wages a little bit, right? They raised the wages a little bit. The federal minimum wage is still pretty low, but in a lot of places they raised it up because they're trying to make it seem like you can get more money there. But it doesn't fucking matter. It still gets eroded by the essential prices of things skyrocketing. It doesn't fucking matter. From 2020 to 2024, the affordability gap widened significantly as median income grew from $68,400 to $83,730. That's a 22.4% increase. While home prices climbed, right? This is a whole different terminology. From the other one, it grew from one to another. For the home, when it's referencing how much the increase is for the home prices, it said that shit climbed, not went to or grew. It said climbed, okay? Climbed from 329,000 to 426,800. That's a 29.7% increase. Not keeping up. This period, the median wage not keeping up. This period saw low interest rates, remote work trends, and supply shortages that accelerated housing demands. For the past 2 decades, rent and house prices have been rising faster than incomes across most regions of the United States. For many households, increased housing costs means there is less available for everything else, including food, healthcare, clothing, education, and retirement savings. This affordability challenge is particularly severe for households of color and or low-income communities. Now, I pointed all that shit out to give credence to some of what I said in the last video with my big ice analogy, right? So big ice analogy, 2 people standing at this big block of ice you need to get through. I got bare minimum bullshit. I don't got nothing. I got an ice pick in this hand that's shaped like a knife, the little skinny ice pick, big ass handle ice pick. I got that. And I got an ice pick that's shaped like an axe, and it has like a little thing on it like that. It's a handle. It goes straight up. It got a little right here, and a little bit to come out the backside, and you whack the ice like that. Kind of looks like a little scythe, I guess. Anyway, that's all I fucking got, and some basic shit on my body to keep me from dying from the cold immediately in this analogy. And everything in this analogy is to connect and represent to the shit I'm talking about here. So the cold is the environment. That's what the cold represents. This big ass block of ice, that's the current day economy. Those are the challenges that I have to face now as a new person in this world. I gotta break through this fucking ice right here. This big ass 300-foot wall of ice. The ice pick and the little shit that I got, that's me having nothing. That's bare minimum what I got. That's all I got. And my mission is to get through this fucking ice wall here. Person next to me who's been here for a little while, the previous generation, your parents, people in their generation, motherfucker got a mask on, goggles on, he got a hat on, his hat got a light on it. He got earmuffs on. He got better clothes that protect him, insulate him more from the cold. He got heat packs in his shit, so he still stay warm. Even if his clothes start to fail, he's still gonna be warm for a little bit longer. He got a power drill. He got some fucking pick. He got a pick just like mine. He got some fucking boots, so he can walk through the snow easier. He got a backpack with some other shit in it. He's geared up, and he not making it. The audacity for that motherfucker who has the gear, who has already tools that should make his journey easier than mine. The audacity for that nigga to look at me and be sad or mad or disappointed in me that I can't do what he can't do while he has everything that I don't have. And that's what I'm about to touch on next. The financial strain on older generations, right? Even the older generations who have accumulated assets face increasing financial pressures. While they may have been benefited from earlier home prices at lower points, many now find themselves in precarious positions where their fixed incomes or retirement savings cannot comfortably cover rising costs, especially unexpected emergencies. Can't cover it, right? The real wage growth has been minimal. Median household income in the 1980s was equivalent to about $70,800 in today's dollars, while by 2024, median income reached $83,730, representing only an 18% growth in real terms over 44 years. Okay? This stagnation in real wages means that even those who have purchased homes decades ago may find themselves being house rich, which means their assets in their home are worth a lot of money, but cash poor, which means their pockets are empty. Right? So they have some stuff that they was willing to squirrel away before everything got super fucking bad like it is now. Like, so they have their little house, they have some little shit that they bought, but they don't have no money. They can't afford to do nothing. And if an emergency struck, they will be cooked. They're fucking cooked. Everything is gone. Everything is over. One emergency fucked your whole shit up. Right? Now I got a little chart right here. Cost of living versus minimum wage growth. I'm measuring from 2000 to 2026. This is the federal minimum wage. All right, so it's different in other places, right? In California, it's different. In different places, it's different. So, but I'm still gonna use this chart. In the 2000s, the federal minimum wage was $5.15. Okay, and the median household income was $41,990. That this goes by 5 years. I'm going five by five. So next is 2005. Then after that's 2010. You got me? All the way to 2026. In 2005, the minimum wage did not move. Still $5.15. But the household income, median household income went up to $46,326. In 2010, it went up. The federal minimum wage went up to $7.25. And guess what? It's going to stay right there all the way to 2026. While the median household income keep going up, the minimum wage is not moving. Okay, so in 2010, $7.25, and that's the way it's going to stay. 49, but the household income, the median household income went up to $49,276. 2015, median household income $56,516. 2020, median household income $68,400. 2022, $70,784. 2024, $83,730. And 2026, $85,320. The federal minimum wage has not increased since 2009, remaining at $7.25. Some states have a higher minimum wage, like I said earlier. Still doesn't make no fucking difference. This chart clearly illustrates how housing costs have dramatically outpaced both minimum wage and median house income growth. since the 2000s. While minimum wage has remained stagnant at federal level since 2009, housing costs have increased by approximately 157%, and even median household incomes has not kept pace with this rising costs. The cost of living index has nearly doubled since the 2000s, with housing being the primary driver of this increase. This growing gap between wages and housing costs has created significant affordability challenges across generations and income levels, with particularly severe impacts on the first-time homebuyers, low-income households, and communities of color. That is my little document completed. I have to get those statistics in there and make it nice and cohesive to explain things so people can know just how incredible these disparities in costs of living and what we generate is. Okay? And that was from the 2000s. Then it gets even worse. It's even crazier to see if you go farther back. If you look at like the 1960s to now, bruh, you're not gonna want to look at that. You're gonna have your hope in humanity. Your hope in humanity is gonna be challenged. Your hope in this economy is gonna be destroyed. Going back that far to look at that shit, because it don't make no fucking sense. That shit is on top of the previous video I made about how fucking redundant and useless the school and working system is. So this is what we're facing. Previous video talked about just getting into the world. You finishing school and you getting a job. You getting a job to face this bullshit. You ain't facing shit. You getting beat the fuck up. You hopping into the ring with this housing economy, you getting knocked right back out. You flying right back over the ropes into the crowd. Nigga, you not doing shit. That's how it's going. This video touched on all that. Next video, I'm touching on the car market and purchasing cars. Okay? But before I wrap this up, the whole point of these videos is to bring information to things that we as black people and people in general should work to change or in some way circumvent. Like, we should not just be victims to this stuff, but also that I'm bringing to attention to people who are in some way ignorant to this information or ignorant to a perspective that includes this information from younger people to the older generation. I've been through and I encounter and I hear too many much older people with previous generations just saying some old redundant shit and flapping their lips, talking about just go to school, just get a job, just get 2 jobs, just get 3 jobs, just keep on running your head into the same wall like this until eventually you get through it. Well, that's not what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is my head's gonna fucking bust open trying to keep up with this bullshit. 200% increase. That's what's only happened as of recently. I didn't bring in the older data from the 1960s. And that shit is not slowing down. They're taking our jobs with the AI. There's all kind of other shit that's coming out about how the government is operating right now. Who's running the government is another big ass conversation. We're not gonna talk about the flight logs and the lists, okay? We getting compounded with all of this different powerful, impactful, depressing, disparaging information about our potential future. As my generation and everybody after me, when we look out into the future to try and decide where we're going to be, we don't see nothing. It's like trying to run a track meet. It's like being put on a track meet to race somebody who has a head start on you before you even. I'm about to make an analogy. I like analogies. You a fucking baby in the womb. You developing. You're not even alive. Somehow you've been enlisted into this race that you gotta run. This is a race of life. This is economy. This is the real life, okay? You're not even here yet, but you expected to do shit once you get here. So you in the womb. You're not here yet. You expected to race that motherfucker. That nigga represents the world, the economy, and how shit is going right now. He been running. So before the race has even started, you already losing. Someone said that's always been the case, but it's never been this disparaging. And you may have faced significant challenges. Maybe you went through gang violence and other things in your generation, and that's, I'm not taking none of that away from you. But you ain't faced this. You know how I know you ain't faced this? Because you ain't got no motherfucking solutions for this. You stuck just like us. So I get born, that nigga has a head start already. He's been running. My legs still need to develop. Even by the time they do develop and I start to try and get my pace and start running, first of all, I'm not fast. I've never ran before. That nigga is beyond my sights. He's been running. As I'm trying to run right now, my feet are now on the tar, and I'm making my way down this track. I can't see him. I can't see. I don't even know what I'm chasing right now. And you trying to put the blame on me or be disappointed in me that I'm not winning the race. Are you looking at the track? Are you looking at my situation? There's no way you can genuinely get mad at me that I'm not winning this race when this nigga has been running before I even got born. He's so far ahead of me right now, I cannot see him. You got some fucking superhuman DNA I don't know about? My legs supposed to just turn me into the Flash and I'm supposed to catch this nigga when I can't see him? Come off it, bro. This is some bullshit. I've been put into a losing game. A lot of this stuff, these problems that we have right now cannot even be fixed quickly. It takes major change. It will take revolution, and it's still going to take time to fix a lot of this shit. We ain't even touch on the cars yet and traveling in general. We ain't even touch on that. I talked about dating and another thing. So these are compounding. This is compounding shit. It's like a system failure with compounding irregularities. Like you got a big ass system with all kinds of quirks and screws and shit, and everything is failing at once in multiple spots, and it's just breaking down the whole fucking machine. Socially, dating and all that type of life, that shit is a fucking landmine, fucking piss pool bullshit. On top of that, school and getting a job, bullshit. On top of that, having the ability to afford a fucking house and get a house or any affordable living in general, renting, not just homes, renting, bullshit. Next is the car. Right now, what people have to do, or what they've been doing, is deciding whether they want an apartment or a car. And they live in one of the two while trying to work without the ability to save. What the fuck are you expecting somebody to do when they see the situation? You don't have a solution. What solutions do you expect us to come up with? What can you even think of off the top of your head as to how this generation is supposed to get down on their hands and knees and get dirty and fix it and be adults and be productive in the world with all this shit going on? Oh, we all had problems. We all had, and it was different from ours, and they were not as bad as ours. The only people who can speak on this are people who went through like the recession or some shit like that, because that's what this is being compared to, a fucking recession. And you didn't have all of these compounding irregularities. You just had some of the ones on the economical side. We've reached a peak. We've reached multiple shitty peaks with all of these various things that I'm talking about. Y'all got the shit when it just started, or when it was starting to climb. We are at the peak, and we can't rely on nobody for no help without them getting mad about us relying on them. What the fuck do you expect me to do? If I can't rely on you and I can't go solve the shit myself, where is the solution? Show me something. What am I missing? Show me what I'm missing. Maybe I'm missing something. And we all is Generation Z. All of us who still living with our parents. What was that statistic again? It was big as fuck. Because obviously, we're all just so fucking stupid. We don't know what the fuck's going on, and we need to do something different. And it's a whole lot of us. So I'm going to show you the demographic of whom you need as the previous generation who's responsible for your kids to provide a solution to these people. So, 60%, 68% of everybody right now who's between the ages of 18 and 24. Solutions, give it. Give it to me now. Don't say no dumb, redundant shit that you've been saying. Go apply for another job. We already touched on that. That's not no motherfucking solution. It's niggas with degrees and everything and all that, and people with nothing who spend the same amount of time rotating through application processes and not getting no fucking jobs or getting fucking ghosted and ignored for months, years. My elbow don't have enough grease to squirt out that's gonna solve this problem. That's not part of the solution. This is not 19 nothing. I can't walk down the street and expect a job by dressing up and talking to somebody. That's a waste of fucking breath and time. It's more of a waste of time than applying online. I get more reach online and I still don't get shit by using the computer. So what the fuck do you think I'm finna do with my legs that the computer can't do? As far as finding some applications or to apply to some shit. We touched on school and how that is basically is as bad as it's always been. It's been a fucking debt trap. Now whatever is peaking, just like I said, we at the peak. We operating at the peak of all of these problems. So if it was a debt trap before for whatever previous generations and they got through it, it's at the peak of its potential of being a debt trap right now. It's as bad as it's going to get. If it gets worse from here, I feel sorry for those next generations. And I don't know what to tell you. Before you come to the room, spiritually tell your parents to pull out. I don't know what the fuck you need to do. But this is some bullshit. You don't have a solution. Your redundant ass information that worked for you does not work for us. So repeating it doesn't make it work better when you say it the next time. It's still the same fucking information that don't work. This shit has been going on for years. This has been years in the making. 2 decades. That's why it's peaked now. All those people had it still with some variable degrees of success. If they did some work or got lucky, they could get a house. Right? Just like he was talking about. The older generations, they're asset rich, but money poor. Because before it got to the peak, they slithered in and they got what they could get before it went belly up. Right now, shit is belly up. So it's no slithering for us. We just stuck outside. Beating the dead horse with the fucking tactics that you use that obviously do not apply here is not a solution. If you don't have a solution, what you can do is support your children trying to find another way. Because at this point in time, we're not getting nothing out of the system. A lot of people have come to terms with that. We're not getting shit out of the system. It's not going to give us nothing. We go to work because we prefer to have some money, to have a little something, so we can eat food. Nobody wants to be homeless, okay? So we go to work and do enough so we can have enough. Whatever we can manage to get with this shitty economy, we'll take that. But don't nobody see no future. When I look into the future, I see red. I see black. I see gray. I see nothing. That nigga that I'm racing, I cannot see him. I cannot see him. There's a point as a human being where when you doing something and you don't see a way to succeed, you don't keep doing that shit. That's a waste of time and energy. You just get mad and working hard for nothing. Cause you're not making no distance. The wheels aren't turning. There's no friction. You're not moving. But you pouring sweat from all your pores and you bleeding out of your fucking orifices, putting all this effort into what? Into what? Where are you going? You can't even see where you're going. You don't even have a destination. That's part of the problem with you older generations. You've been so fucking fixed into the worker bee mindset that anything that's going outside of the system, deviating from the system, just elicits immediate angry reactions from you. Even when the system is full of shit and it's shitting on you. It's fucking you up right now. Didn't you hear the part where I was talking about the older generations? So you did what you were supposed to do. You did hard work. And right now, all that hard work is going down the fucking drain. because of the economy. But you want your kids to do what? What? How are they supposed to approach it? You got the gear already. You protected from the cold. You insulated, and you freezing to death. So looking at me being mad that I don't have a solution is retarded. It's ridiculous. I'm in the later stages of frostbite. You still got a little more time left. I'm about to die from hypothermia and all kind of shit freezing over here. While you have everything, you have way more than me. If you don't have everything, you still have way more than me. And the cold is about to get your ass too. So don't be looking at me and trying to make me feel inadequate that I can't do some shit that you can't do when you have advantage over me to do the thing that you want me to do. Next video, we talking about the cars.